Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Let's Play. I'm Happy Vader, reporting in from Argent Media. I took a personal day yesterday, and figured we could just start up day 3, quote unquote, for today. A continuation of what we've been doing so far is building up the roster, gearing up the roster, and the hope is today we reach another farm node for the team that we're trying to assemble. Once again, we will go in and do the shipment refreshes, and then I will go ahead and get the energy refreshes going. Alright. Because of how long it takes in between times, I am going to start with Squad Arena, move into challenges, and then do my other stuff. Just kind of start going into this routine. Natalia's lead, I think her lead increases the evasion rate of Night Sisters, but we can just check that really quick. Also, low gear, the accuracy rate is just so low. This is not landing anything. Yeah. So, increased evasion. You wouldn't think 10% means all that much, but definitely comes in. So these are based on our rankings and performances the last time we were playing. So climbing up to the 1200 range, 300 squad arena currency, that's nice. And that's a second time that's kicked in. So because I took a personal day yesterday, there were 2 payouts. That. So because we have squad arena currencies, I'm gonna run in here. Believe it's Cassian Andor that I'd like to grab, but let me just check. So for what I'm going for, I'll pick up Cassian Andor. Then we're just gonna go and do a bunch of shard farming. Very nice. Snow Trooper does not have a node. POW will need to do some more Cantina farms. So Range Trooper, because I want to get Range Trooper up and running, I'm going to go ahead and use one of the refreshes, do a second round of farming. So now Range Trooper is just 7 shards away from being unlocked. And that will help our Dark Side roster significantly, if nothing else than to just have one more character. So, alright, hop in here, do the squad arena. Challenges is the next. And I'm seeing some better options pop up here. It could also be pertaining to where I'm at with my gearing levels, but it's already looking like a better selection of allies to use going into these battles. So some of these levels, you'll run into the situation like these B1 battle droids, where they constantly shoot off of each other, and it's just so painful because you're trying to set yourself up for the final round, which is difficult enough as it is. But sometimes we can be rather fortunate, like how we are now, where they sort of just spread their shots around. And again, that 10% health healing that happens between rounds, that will kick into effect. So all those damage that's been dissipating throughout my squads, that's just becoming a moot point. There we go. 3 stars for the challenge. But going forward, I can just sim that. Okay. So I believe we wanted to start pushing the light side in order to get to General Veers. That'll be quite the push. Since we leveled up, we have some more Cantina energy. If we're lucky, we may be able to get more shards of Pathfinder, which we did not. So now, I'm going to focus on gearing up these characters. Try this. Poe Dameron seems like a good choice. This will give us a good gauge of the expectations going forward. How well do we perform in this? Well enough, we could just go ahead and push. So Poe just took a couple of hits for us, which would be nice. If we can clean this up, boom. Poe will be healed up almost to full going into this round. So B2 battle droids have an AoE where they can dispel all buffs, all the buffs that you have on your team. And I'm guessing if they have them here, they'll have them in the final round. And if that's the case, I'm going to prioritize the B2 battle droids, just so I'm not losing out on the buffs. We don't have B2 battle droid, but we do have a spy, and spy does a great deal of damage. So I'm going to focus on getting that taken out. Then move over to the B1, have Poe taunt, because if all those attacks go to Poe and they take Poe out, that's not going to cause me to lose stars. So there we go, Poe's already about a third of the way down. Save that heal. I consider doing a resistance team for light side, doing like a resistance for light side nodes and a first order for dark side nodes. And I like that idea, but I'm also a huge fan of Imperial Troopers and the recent addition of Mon Mothma to the game. Now the Mon Mothma team I'm farming, I do realize I will need its data in order to get all of those attack out of turns going. And really, at this point, her leadership just offers the stat bonuses that everyone gives to each other. And yeah, that's fine. But thematically, I like having a rebel fighter Imperial trooper dynamic on this account. Okay. Once again, you will be leveling up pretty fast early on in this game. That will slope off, and I find to be a little more manageable for routines later on because they're not constantly unlocking new events, new mechanics to understand. But again, I feel because of how slow the progression is in this game, it does a great job at sort of introducing you to all of these new aspects of the game. So here's our first fleet battle. It's easy enough. It behaves precisely like the squad battles. Ships have their own abilities, passives even, and majority of the ships in this game have their stats are based off of the stats of not only the ship themselves, but also the characters using the ship. So they're just lending us the units now, but if I had geared up, if I unlocked Bigs and geared up Bigs, then we'd be seeing a stronger X-Wing than what we're given here. Considering this is just a tutorial mission, it's showing us pretty much some basics of, hey, here's how ships work. Akbar decimates an Imperial squadron. But it's a gentle introduction to ships, which is, I find, a little interesting just because you don't actually get to access ship content until, I think, around level 50. We'll go ahead and activate Jedi Consular's Starfighter. I will accept the achievement. I'm again trying to take the far right team that is there. So we don't have a leadership ability on this team. I'm going to see if I can take out Chewbacca. Talia is likely going to heal Chewbacca. And that's fine. Talia took a few hits. She can heal on her basics, so that's nice. I'm gonna save that taunt. Looks like they're gonna go hard on Talia. And so it's gonna be here where I'd consider a taunt. Do another heal, make them spread that damage. My Talia, but I feel confident that the battle is won. That's unfortunate for that player, where the team was auto-deployed. I'm not sure if they are PvP focused. Maybe haven't really had an opportunity to climb up the squad arena ladder. So here we go. We have the beginning of a synergistic teams between Princess Leia and the Rebels in the middle, and then we also have the beginning of a Phoenix squad, which is potent. They have a tank, a damage dealer, so 2 tanks, 2 damage dealers, and a very decent leader at this point of the game. Okay. Gonna continue farming, scare Rebel Pathfinder shards. An additional 500 hit points just with that alone. Some additional armor, I think tenacity as well. Tenacity is the likelihood of resisting stats. which can be very useful when you look at teams like Count Dooku, or any separatist team with Count Dooku in it, with all the stuns and ability blocks. Some more health and armor, making for a decent tank. Today's focus is just getting up there in the light side nodes. And since we're beginning to run a little bit low on the energy aspects, stop there with Pathfinder. Jedi Consular, I will promote. So in previous runs, I didn't do anything with Consular, but there's such a great healer. And there's not a lot of decent healers in this game at this point in the game. Still using Chewbacca. And honestly, until I get maybe Akbar as a lead, I'm just going to be using Chewbacca. It would help if Chewbacca was a rebel tank. But since I'm transitioning over to my rebel team, I do want to focus more on the rebel fighters and getting them geared up. Alright, so let's make a push. We'll throw in Coruscant Underworld Police. I would prefer to have Pow geared up. Pow wasn't regarded as a very decent character for a long time in this game, and arguably is still not that great of a kit. But what I found is that in the early game, if you gear Pow up, Pow can hit really, really hard. Especially when you start upgrading their attack ability, their basic ability. A little bit messy of a fight. So Otto is not exactly very intelligent. So even though this is the elite, I will go for Spy first and foremost. Spy's basic has a chance of, I think, dispelling. The special definitely does. It does a lot of damage, so taking care of that as quickly as possible. There we go. So, gearing up Consular definitely increases the effectiveness of healing. Also, just with the higher hit point total, overall survivability is key in the PvE environment. So just ensuring that we can keep that sustainability going forward is important. Take a break from here. Check in on the squad arena. 30 seconds. Challenges. Go after the defense down. I think in this round I'm going to try just have Khan soak up as much of the initial attack as possible. Ooh. Let's go after one of the offense up. It is worth noting that Scarif is hitting a lot harder, and that only helps having some more damage on the field. try this. Luke. Look at that. Tanking like it's shit. Work on the offense up tags. There we go. Tusken Raiders. Tusken can be a little tricky. They also have that tendency to attack with each other. Sand Troopers are tanky. Okay. Okay. So I will do this. We'll see if we can see that auto revive mechanic in place. Scarif is taking the hits. Okay, well at least there's that. All in all, I'd say that went pretty well. I have struggled in this section before, just with the constant attacking attack assists that they do with one another. Causes problems. Sure. We'll bring Rebel Soldier. Okay, great. So we have a heal ready going into this final round. And if we're fortunate, the soldier will also have a taunt available, and then the soldier can take these hits. Okay. So I think that puts us just about out of time for this video. So I will go ahead and stop it here, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.